Y'all got to get off Tate head, bruh. Like, and look, I'm not here to defend Andrew Tate, like, whatever. I'm just saying, like, some of the comments I'm seeing, the last comment I saw was by Luke Rockhold. For a 4-time world champion, you should have been able to box. The Andrew didn't look good. He looked like he hadn't fought before. That's not a good look, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Tate, okay? Top G. You know, I know you want to chalk it up to age. You know, I'm 40 years old and I was in jail and blah, 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 blah. Like, yo, family, stop it, man. Stop. And to everybody else, stop too. Because I hear all this stuff about how older fighters are, how older fighters this, older fighters that. Anderson Silva's 52 years old. I don't give a damn what y'all think. I don't think Chase DeMore beats Anderson Silva. I think Anderson Silva puts some things on him. Now, I know Anderson Silva is who he is, but you know, even at 52 years old, he's in the elite athlete area. You know what I mean? Like, he's in that realm still. You know what I mean? Where he should be still be taken seriously and catch you slipping at 52 years old. And that's because due to his dedication. Andrew, I do not think that he really dedicated himself in this training. I thought maybe he just, well, I'm the top G. I'm just going to hit at some mitts and smoke my cigars and, you know, and just, you know, fuck my whores, my broads, whatever. And, you know, a little bit of body, you know, going body with the buddies. But I don't think you know, I saw him with a black eye one time. I don't know how that worked, but I don't think he really was getting any real strength training, any real sprints, anything really to prepare him for the long haul of fighting a guy like a Chase Demoore, who cannot box a lick. We know that. But this is still a big, hungry, strong, tough dude. Okay? He's coming to win. He's not going to lay down. He believes that he's tough enough to continue, like to do whatever he wants. And he has that mindset. So you have to at least prepare for, if you got a 6-round fight, prepare for 7. You know what I mean? That's how you got to do that. Because if you don't knock him out, and he ain't been knocked out, he gets somewhat of his decent chin so far. You know what I mean? Maybe chip away as time goes on. I've seen him take some good shots. I've seen him maybe hurt maybe one time, kind of. But you got to take that into consideration. Now, for those of y'all, the real Andrew Tate fans, I'm talking to y'all. Do you really think Andrew should just hang it up because he's 40 years old and nobody at 40 has ever accomplished anything in boxing or MMA? Or do you not know what you're talking about? But anyway, regardless of that, is it possible that Andrew could be one of those people to still be able to be effective in older age? Because we know that it's possible. It's just rare. And when we got other fighters getting mentioned, such as the Anderson Silva or whatever. What's my other guy named from Cuba? The Cuba guy, the bald head and the big diesel ass neck. So I can't think of his name right now. A bunch of older fighters. We've seen Randy Couture do shit back in the day. He was like 45, body slamming motherfuckers, shit like that. We've got who else? If you look at George Foreman, Manny Pacquiao, Emmanuel Marquez, Bernard Hopkins, Larry Holmes. There's been numerous guys. Jersey Joe Walcott back in the day was champ at 39 years old. So we have to keep in mind that, you know, 40 is not a death sentence. It can get more difficult to keep up, but you can keep up and you can win, let alone just keep up. So you gotta be willing to take that into consideration. This whole thing about just leave that alone. Okay? We should be able to get past that at this time, especially in this day and age. The nutrition you can get now, the supplements you can get now. Like, can we grow up, please? An elite athlete is an elite athlete. It's just that you have to train like an elite athlete and you have to be able to train like an elite athlete. So the question becomes, do you have the genetics to move forward? You have the determination to move forward in later age. I think Andrew Tate can do it. I stand by this. Andrew Tate should go for a rematch. What do y'all think? What do y'all, please, listen, tear me up in the comments. I don't care. I really want to know what y'all think. I'm willing to go. I love debates, by the way, especially about fighting, because I actually know what I'm talking about. And I love, like, schooling people who don't know what they're talking about, even though they still try to talk to you like they know what they're talking about, even when you prove them that they don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, regardless, I want to see a rematch. And I think that would be really, really good for Andrew Tate to come back. That would be very powerful if he did come back and pulled it off. But he'd have to really train like he really wants to win. Like he's hungry. He has to find that hunger. I'm going to keep it a bill with you. I looked back on a video of Andrew Tate, and he was talking about he doesn't even like training. He doesn't like it. He just does it to survive and whoop and all of this. That was very telling. Because now, remember, that's Andrew Tate when he had hair. He was poor. He was just fighting to fucking survive. Remember the story about him and his brother? That was some touching shit. And again, I'm not a big Andrew Tate fan, but that was a touching story of him with his brother, how they would freeze the KFC and shit like that. Like, I come from that. You know what I mean? Not from the KFC necessarily, but, you know, I come from goddamn Miracle Whip toast and fried bologna and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I've had times like that, you know, living off $1 chicken sandwiches and all of that from, you know, Carl's Jr. and all that, you know, Jack in the Box. You know what I mean? I understand that. I've lived that. So for him to do that, and I've, you know, I do very well for myself now. But for him to come now he's got Bugattis and all that, Bugattis. You know what I mean? That is very inspiring. But again, how hungry are you knowing that you didn't really like training like that back in the day? You were just doing it to survive. And now you're trying to train like somewhat hard when you're going to sleep in silk sheets, driving around in the Bugatti with fucking Cuban cigars, and you got the finest girls that you like, the girls you think are the finest you have with you at any given time. It's going to be very difficult for you to channel that monster that you had inside of you back before. You know what I mean? So that is something that you got to take into consideration for real. I think that is the real problem here. How do you find the eye of the tiger? Because you had it. That's what you're missing, man. You ain't got the eye of the tiger. You got to get the eye of the tiger, baby. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then, you know, shit, man, you might want to, after you get Chase, man, you might want to call out Luke Rockhold. It's like, nah, I don't know what all that, man. But I definitely think you can make a comeback and beat Chase. But you got to be ready, bro. You got to be hungry. You got to be ready. You got to come strong. You got to get the sprints on. You got to get your strength training on. Not just spawn. I don't think you did all that. There's no way with getting gassed in 2 rounds. I don't give a fuck who's hanging on you, whatever. Like, that's crazy. You didn't train like that. It's impossible. And I don't think that your mind just broke you down. I know that the mental fatigue can play a major part too, but not that much of a part. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, to all my folks, everybody who's listening to this video, like, you know, share, subscribe, you know, comment. Let's know what you think. Just let me know what you think. Okay? Don't mind. Listen, I just look like this. I can't control that. Okay? Just talk to me. Let me know what y'all think. Let's build on this. And do you think he could win a rematch? Do you think he should go for the rematch? All right? Bam.